Hello, this is Dan, the Furniture Repairman. Today we're working on this mid-century modern lounge chair. We did a complete restoration on it, but the part of the video today is not on the restoration, it's how to reinforce it because it's very wobbly. And this is very common in these chairs. Now we're going to give you a quick peek of it after it's done. We did the fabric, new cushions. I left a bit of the old color hanging out in there. I kind of like the movement. And we redid it in this nice satiny flat finish that gives it this beautiful aged look. It is done, but before it was done we had to make it strong. We had to stabilize it, and this is very common in these chairs, and we're going to show you exactly the process we developed to do that. Now this is the chair taken apart, and they do come apart. These are flat packs, they were imports, and on the left you could see that little screw goes inside that little slot there and it slides in. And if it's loose, you can tighten the screw a little bit and tighten the chair up. And as you can see, you have to kind of slide it in, just like I did here. But then if I tend to move it around, it tends to be a little bit on the wobbly side. This is the screw that needs to be tightened. It's a 50, 60-year-old screw, so go easy on it. Turn it a little bit, let it recover. Turn it a little bit, let it recover. Don't snap that head off. I turned it about a quarter turn, and I'm going to turn all of them about a quarter turn. There's 4 screws on this part of the chair. And once I get them tightened, I'm going to slide the chair back together. So here I am. I'm reassembling it. But it's not going to slide together so easy right now because those screws have been tightened up. So you can see I'm using that big paw I got, and I'm giving it a couple of whacks. And I'm trying to get it all the way tight, but it's not quite going there. So I'm going to have to persuade it a little bit. So here's my block of wood. Couple light taps. I'm not hitting this too hard. You know, a quick short burst, boom, and it should shift it a little. You can see it's moved it a little. There's a little bit left open there. I'm going to hit it a few more times, and it should tighten it right up. Now, if you're happy with the way the chair is there, then go ahead and stop, and that should be good enough for you. But what we like to do is we like to make it extra strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some screws in and some plugs in, because when I fix something, I want it to stay fixed. And it's been my experience that these chairs tend to loosen back up after a year or two. I have the chair back apart, and I'm going to drill through that plate right in that large center hole. And I'm going to put a little pilot hole there. And what it's going to do is help me line up my screw so it goes right through. Now, I'm going to do it on every one of these fittings, and then I'm going to put the chair back together, and you're going to see how I put a screw through, and it's going to go right through that spot there and pull this nice and tight, and it'll make it nice and strong. You can see the small hole, the pilot hole I put through from the other side. I'm taking a 3/8 inch drill bit. I'm going to make a hole there for the plug, and we're going to put the sheetrock screw in from this side. So I'm going to drill down a little bit. We're going to test fit it, make sure it's the right size and the plug is going to work correctly. And then after that, we're going to put the chair back together, and we're going to pilot hole there. So there's our plug. Everything fits right. Now once we have the chair back together, we still have to put a second pilot hole through because we only went through part of the wood. So we have to go through the other part that we've now attached. So I'm going back with my pilot hole drill bit, popping it all the way through. I don't want to split anything out. I think I have a 2.5 inch sheetrock screw right there. And it's a fine thread because this is a hardwood chair. And the fine thread is going to hold it much stronger than the coarse thread. We're going to drive it home. And then after that, we're going to give it a little test to make sure it's nice and tight. We have a little carpenter's glue on a piece of cardboard. I'm just going to get a little bit on the edge of the plug. Pop it right in my hole. It'll cover up my screw. And then I'll just tap it home. We'll let it dry. And then we're going to move this puppy over into the finish booth and finish it off. Now, we feel real good that this is nice and strong now. Our customers won't have any difficulties or problems with them. You're going to see I cover this with a paper towel while I give it a few taps because I don't want to dent it or dent anything. And then I'm just going to wipe it off, and it's going to look just beautiful. This is Dan, the Furniture Repairman. thank you so much for watching. This is kind of a specific repair, but this is something we come across 3 or 4 times a year, and I'd figure we'd share these techniques with other people out there. This furniture is beautiful. If it's wobbly, we don't want to see it go into the landfill. A little bit of effort and then a little bit of upholstery, and you got yourself a beautiful new chair again. Questions, comments, put them below. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just fine. Call me a shoemaker. It's all good. Y'all take care.